Hi and welcome to the channel again. So today we're going to go back to the ML. Got quite a lot of work to do with the engine bay. So let me show you. Here we are in the on the ML's engine bay. We've got some new valve cover gaskets to do either side. New hoses, all the hoses for the PVC. And I think we've got a new EGR valve to go at the back. Also got a new coolant tank to go in. And I think there's also stuff for the steering rack. So we're going to have like a new steering filter and a new steering rack I think we're going to be putting in the end. Don't know. But in the meantime, we're going to strip this down, take out the airbox, take off the covering of the engine so that we can get proper access to what we're doing here. Disconnect all the coil packs. Probably going to do this side first because this side seems to have the worst leak of the gasket towards the back. You may have seen on a previous video how right at the back there it's leaking. So yeah, let's start stripping this down, and then I can go over what we're probably going to achieve first here. See, it's very tight in here. So this pipe here doesn't really help too much, and plus remember this ML's got LPG, so we've got these injectors on there as well. Okay, we'll keep going. Get the coil packs off now at least. Yeah, let's carry on. So as you can see, I've moved some of the brackets, get the LPG out of the way a bit. Still want to get this out. Then what I'm going to do is just make a cardboard pin for what screws come out where on this here, so I've got a record of what's where. So let's do that. This is my template, my bit of card I've used. Quick drawing of the valve cover with where the bolts go. There are some more bolts to come out. As you can see, I've taken these ones out, but the ones at the back over here I need to deal with now. I really want to get this air ducting out the way. into the throttle at the back, which I know is going to be quite hard, but I'm going to keep trying to strip it down to make life easier for me, because I want to replace all those pipes anyway. So let's get on with that. So update, we've stripped it down a lot more. You'll notice the coolant tank is now out. We're going to replace that anyway, but I wanted to get some more access at the back here because I still haven't got the pipe out. This is proving a hard one. Right, let's continue, see if we can get this annoying pipe out. Hey, we're now getting somewhere. So we've got the airbox out, which gives me all this nice room back here now to do what I need to do with these new pipes. I can also get the covers off properly and put the new gaskets in place. I really am toying with the idea of getting rid of this LPG. What I can see is that these injectors go into the inlet manifold with some nipples. I'm wondering if I can get some blanking nipples just so that I can take this all off and then close the holes into the inlet manifold maybe. But either way, I've got all this space now. Time to carry on with the work on the car. We needed to put a new coolant tank in anyway. Interestingly, when I got the pipe off, it looks like someone had had problems with this before, because here it was broken and looks like it had been super glued back in place, this bracket. But yeah, looks like someone else also had a nightmare with this very interesting pipe and the way it goes in. So let's carry on with looking after this wonderful car. So as you can see, we've got the covers off. This is the one side. I'm going to cover it with some plastic bag at the moment, so we can then take a look properly at the actual valve cover, give it a clean and reseal if we need to. With the cover. Now I want to take this off the little chamber and reseal it. It doesn't look like it's leaking, but I want to make sure it's done properly while I'm here, so I want to get this off. These two screws here should be replaced. I don't have the replacement. Naughty me. So I'm going to see if I can get them undone and then get the chamber off, give it a clean out, reseal it, and then we know it's ready to go back on. So I managed to get them split, which is good. Be cleaning out these channels on these so that we can put some new sealant on. Interestingly, there is here supposed to be a hole for this tube. As you can see, it's blocked. So we'll give it a good clean out, make sure that that comes up nice and clean, because obviously we need that hole open to allow it to breathe. So let's clean these up, ready to go back on. Okay, so we've got this clean now. As you can see, there's the little hole that was missing before because it was clogged. You can see right through now. So this now needs to be a black sealant on it, pop back on this with the 2 screws, and then it's ready to go back on the car. All good. To put this back on, we're going to use the sealant in these channels. This is the sealant you want. Mercedes sold this about 15 quid. I got this from BMW because they only wanted £8, and basically it's both of them are just Loctite SI 5970. So that's what we're going to use to put this back on, and then we're going to loosely put in those screws, 8 Newton meters maximum, but basically not over tighten them. Looking at those screws, I think they are the replacement ones because they've got the star head, whereas I think the originals had just a normal like Allen key head. So they have been replaced. Differences between aluminium and something else, can't remember, but I'm going to get on with doing this sealant now. We need to put the gasket in place. The previous one was an L-ring. This time we're going to use a Mercedes genuine one. So we're going to put the gasket in place. L-ring are normally quite good make. However, I've heard from multiple places that when it comes to these gaskets, you really want to use genuine Mercedes. They seem to be thicker than other brands. Remember, the reason why we're doing this is because we've got a leak, and the seller said that they did actually do the valve cover gaskets. Well, either that's a lie or the quality of the one they used was inferior. So now we're going with a genuine Mercedes one, and hopefully that will solve that job. Stop the leak. And we know that we've now cleaned out the chambers on this, so we've got a good to go valve cover. That's it. Gasket pushes into all the little holes nice and firmly. I've cleaned up the surface on the car, so now it's just a matter of putting this in place. So let's go over to the car now. Got a little template here which shows me which went where. So I know that way round we have this bolt here. these bolts for the valve cover, you don't tighten too tight at all. They go to 9 Newton meters. So I've got my little torque wrench. So it's 9 Newton meters. So I've got my torque wrench set to 9. Yep, 9 Newton meters. I'm going to start in the middle and then do a kind of star shape really. Yep, we're done. So now we can start putting back the PVC pipes, or replace them should I say, at the back there, and then get the airbox moved back in place, and then it's time to start on the other side. So we've got the valves, the hose pipes off the back now. So obviously this one here goes to that connection there, but that's off the back. We're going to replace these pipes now. I'll show you what we've got on the bed table. So this is the part that slides down. This is one of the pipes that goes that side, I think. You can see all the February part numbers here. This is one of the long pipes. Just the big one that goes through to the right hand side. So we're going to try and set these up now and take out the old ones. So this is what we've got. Bear in mind there's joiners in here, so we'll have to reuse those, but we'll make this again. Yeah, so we've got our new piping made up now, the old bits along the side and the new one on the air box, and we'll have the fun of getting these back in. But while we're at the back there, I'm going to look at this EGR valve. So we want to get this EGR valve out. You can see it there. That's this here. We want to get the valve out so that we can do some tests on it, make sure it's behaving itself. From what I remember, there's 2 bolts. There's one kind of in there and one there. Once again, a bit awkward to get to, but we'll get those 2 out, and then there's 2 there that we also need to unscrew. At least we've got some room now to do this, so let's get this up. I want to show you what I found here. So this is my spare one that I bought. If you can listen carefully, can you hear that? That's the solenoid working. However, if I take my rather crude setup and put it on the one that came out of the ML, See that? No clicking. So the one from the ML wasn't working and is dead. The other thing to do with these is this here. We want to push this in, like right in, and then hold our finger over the valve, and you should see that it holds until I let go. Try it again. Push it right in, finger over the hole. You should hear a click when it pops back up. Hear that? Try it again. Push it right in. You can actually hear it go, see it go right in. Finger over the hole, and it should hold, and then you hear it come out. So that's my replacement part. Just going to try that on the part that came out of the car. Yeah, that one seems to work as well, but as we know, the solenoid doesn't work. We should release it. There we go, released. But yeah, we know that this isn't working on the one that came off, so it's a good job we're doing this and replacing it. Put the EGR valve in place. So I've, if you can see it, put some string here, which will hold this gasket, because this gasket does like just dropping off. So as I'm placing it down, it will hold the gasket in place, and then I can remove the string. So let's put this back in. Okay, so that's how we placed EGR valve back in now. And now we'll carry on putting the hoses back in and the air filter, and put all this back together this side, and then it's finally onto the other side. Okay, so we got the pipes in, we've got the area in. I'm going to leave this empty for now, because I want to get all this side done. But I think maybe we'll put the coolant tank in place, because I don't think that will get in the way now. We've done all the stuff at the back. So yeah, let's put the coolant tank back on. So EGR valve, pipes and hoses at the back done, air intake back in, obviously the valve cover gasket done on this side, coil packs all back in place, new coolant tank now in place, everything good to go on this side. So now it's this side's turn. So strip it down, get the valve cover off, replace the gasket, reseal possibly this, although this one, don't know, there might be some leakage there, but yeah, this one is the next side. Interestingly, it looks like I might not have to remove the fuel valve. There might be enough space. Usually there isn't, like on the CLK there isn't, but on this it seems like there might be enough room. Now that would be nice, wouldn't it? Make life a bit easier. So this is what we'll be doing next. Okay, let's get this side done. Have to disconnect the fuel line here. Can't get it out with that fuel line in the way. That's annoying. Okay, so we have the other side off. Let's cover it up and get the gasket on. Okay, so we've got the valve cover off. The actual seal of the gasket to this chamber seems to be okay, so I'm actually not going to change that one, but of course we will change the actual gasket itself for a proper Mercedes one. So let's turn this over, get that gasket on, clean up the surface on the car, the surface where it's going to put the cover back on, and get this cover back on. Okay, so remember these torque up to 9 Newton meters, no more. Back on. Pipes, PVC pipes are back on. This is all buttoned down now. So I guess we'll put the coil packs back on, then we'll fill up the coolant tank, and then we'll be ready for a start. Okay, let's start her and see what happens. Basically we're going to check for leaks and stuff, and leave it running for a bit, let the coolant get to level correctly, and also get some air out. Yeah, we'll see how she gets on. I think that's job done. We had 0 leaks. There's a bit of smoke where it's burning off the previous leaks, but pretty much all gone. The coolant is good. It's running the temperature. Very, very happy with this. That came out. Yeah. The ML's been looked after. And I'll see you guys on the next video, I guess. Cheers.